Hi everyone, my name is Nicole, and today I'm bringing you a new gentle yoga class on Genesis Go. For today's class, you'll just need an open space in your home, a yoga mat if you have one available, and just about 30 minutes to reset and calm the mind and the body. So we'll get started. Nothing too crazy to start, just allowing the shoulders to rest on top of the hips. The ears rest on top of the shoulders. The spine lengthens up toward the ceiling as the top of the head lifts, sides the neck lengthen. Begin to deepen the breath in, feeling the chest expand and lift. And then as you exhale, feel the body soften and release. Both sides of the breath equally important. So as you breathe in, feeling that expansion and lift take place in the body. And with the same attention, allowing the body to soften and release as the air releases. Do one more round here. Smooth breath in. And smooth breath out. Next breath in, turn the palms up, sweep the arms overhead, looking up toward the hands. As you exhale, bring the hands down toward the heart. Take the right hand beside you, sweep the left arm over. So you can stay here looking toward the hand or the hip if that feels better for the neck, or you can look underneath the left arm, lengthening through the left side of the waist, through the left side of the neck, let the jaw soften. Stay here, take a breath in. Stay here as you exhale. And bend the elbow, bring the shoulders upright. Take a breath in, both arms sweep, shoulders roll open. Hands come down toward the heart to release. Let's do the other side, looking toward the right hip. Right hand softens onto the mat, left arm sweeps over. Lengthening through, right hand, opposite hand. So just make sure you're doing a different side from the previous. So you can look toward the hand that's on the mat, letting the neck soften in that direction, or tilt the head to look underneath the right arm. Feeling the right side of the body, right side of the neck lengthen. Full cycle of breath here. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Bend the elbow, bring the shoulders upright. Begin sweeping the arms up to roll open through the chest. The hands soften on the exhale, down to the heart. All right, so I'm going to turn toward the front of my mat. You'll extend both legs forward, just some gentle rotation, taking the left leg across so the sole of the left foot is on the mat. Left hand can help support the spine to keep it upright. Make sure your straight leg, the toes are going straight up toward the ceiling. Wrap the right arm around the left knee, opposite arm to the knee as you rotate. Providing this rotation through the spine, but also a stretch through the outside of the left hip. Tall through the front of the chest, shoulders are wide. You can look toward the wall on the left side of the room, or turn the head to look over the left shoulder. Stay here, grow tall as you breathe in. As you exhale, twist more deeply. One more full cycle of breath, growing tall as you breathe in. As you exhale, twisting more deeply. Unwind the body. Shoulders come back to center. Cross the legs so the left leg comes in front of the right. Walk the hands forward on the mat so that you have pressure in both the palms and the sitting bones. Top of the head releases down toward the hands. Chin comes in toward the chest. Opening up the space in between the shoulder blades and across the middle of the back. Front of the ribs stay relaxed. Feel the release through the low back as you breathe in. Chest softens as you exhale. Walk the hands back toward the body so the shoulders come upright. Reach both legs forward. We'll come into our rotation on the other side. This time your right leg will cross over so the sole of the right foot is on the mat. Left toes continue to point up toward the ceiling. Right hand comes behind you. Left arm holds on to the opposite knee. Left arm to the right knee as you rotate. So you can decide either looking toward the wall on the right side of the room or turning the head to look over the back shoulder. As you breathe in, the spine grows tall, the sides of the waist lengthen. As you exhale, the body twists more deeply. Breathing in, growing tall through the spine. As you exhale, twisting more deeply. Nice work, everyone. Unwind, bring the shoulders back to center. One more time here, crossing the legs. This time your right leg is in front of the left, and then the arms walk forward. So you don't have to walk as far forward as I am. You can actually stay closer toward the legs if that feels more comfortable on the back. If you're feeling steady here, you can of course bring the elbows down, but that's not always an accessible option for people, so find what works for you. This is your practice. You know how your body feels in this moment, so take what you need. Bring the chin in toward the chest, staying in this position. Feeling the space between the shoulder blades open and expand as you breathe in. Front of the chest softens as you exhale. One more time, smooth breath in, feel the back of the body expand and lift. The front of the body soften as you exhale. Walk the hands back so the shoulders are on top of the hips. Straighten both legs. You're going to see where the hamstrings are today. Both legs are reaching forward, the toes point straight up. Take a breath in, the arms sweep up. Exhale to fold. So if you are not able to reach the feet, you can always hold on to the outside of the shins or the back of the knees. You can also bend the knees. That will help you get to the feet more easily. Also drawing the tops of the feet back toward the body will not only help you reach the toes, it will also add a calf stretch into this pose. Find a comfortable space to look for the eyes, the neck. Feeling the front of the body soften, back of the body lengthens. One more breath here. Ease yourself upright. From here, bend the knees, come onto the back. I'm going to grab a drink in between. You feel free to as well. So holding onto the back of the legs, ease yourself back onto the mat. Hug the knees in toward the chest so that the shoulders and the low back can soften down. And it may feel better to have your knees further apart if that helps bring them in toward the body and allows the low back to release. You find that variation, that position that works best for you. So we'll keep the right knee in toward the body, straighten the left leg so it rests down on the mat. Hands interlace behind the back of the right knee. Before we start moving into any specific stretches, just rest here and feel the opening along the front of the left thigh and the front of the left hip. Keep reaching the outside of the right hip and the right shoulder away from one another so the waist stays level and long on both sides. We'll begin to reach the right foot up toward the ceiling. Now the knee does not have to straighten. You'll still get that stretch in the hamstring. If you're able to do so, you can begin to straighten the leg. It might not happen today. Draw the top of the foot back toward the body. That'll help stretch into the calf muscle. And then the hands can begin to walk up the leg as you feel comfortable. we're trying to keep the shoulders and the head soft down on the mat. So if you start to do this and the head and the shoulders lift, and we're just creating tension that you don't really need right now. Think of squeezing the abdomen and the top of the right thigh toward one another. That will help lengthen the low back and the back of the right leg. Keep the breath calm. Take another moment here. You'll bend the right knee. Right hand will come to the hip. Left hand comes to the front of the knee. Roll onto the outside of the left leg. So both sets of toes, both knees are going toward the left side of the room. Your chest stays open toward the ceiling. Left elbow is a kickstand to support the knee. Your right hand can stay on the hip. This is a nice option if the shoulders are a little tight or the back of the neck feels more tight than you would prefer in this position. If you're comfortable with it, you can take the arm out beside you, palm down. Think about reaching the right knee, the right shoulder away from one another in this rotation. Try to keep the jaw soft, the front of the throat relaxed. Use another breath here. Unwind, bring the leg back to center. Hug both knees in toward the body. Recenter yourself with the mat. And then reach both legs long, both arms reach overhead. Full body stretch. Finding space through the sides of the waist. A gentle arch to the low back. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Your right leg will stay down, left knee comes in. We're keeping the knee and the ankle relaxed for these first few moments. That way we can get that stretch through the front of the right hip, the front of the right thigh. Staying here, reach the outside of the left shoulder, the left hip away from one another so you get length through the side of the waist. And then you'll begin to reach the left leg up toward the ceiling. And the knee does not have to straighten, especially if you're already feeling a stretch in the back of the thigh. This might be your pose today. Begin to lengthen through the knee, drawing the top of the foot back to add the calf stretch. Walking the hands up the back of the leg as you feel comfortable. Finding that the space where you can let the body work a little less. Where can you be a little more kind to yourself during this practice? One more cycle of breath here. Nice. Then you'll bend the left knee. Right hand comes to the front of the knee, left hand comes to the hip. Rotating so that you're rolling onto the outside of the right hip and thigh. Both sets of toes, both knees are moving toward the right side of the room. Chest is open toward the ceiling. Your right elbow is helping to support the knee, working as a kickstand. Left hand can stay on the hip, or left arm can reach out beside you. It may be different on this side. If that's the case, allow it to be. Breath steady and calm. Another moment here. Nice. Unwind the body. Bring both knees in toward the center. Recenter yourself with the mat. And then reach the legs long, arms reach overhead, taking a full body stretch. Excellent. From here, bend the knees so the feet are flat on the mat. Work into the outside of the hips a little bit further, bending the right knee,
place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. For a figure 4 stretch, you can begin to walk the left foot closer toward the body to increase the stretch in the outside of the right hip. If you're able to keep the shoulders, the back of the head down, if it feels okay on the knee, you can lift the left leg to intensify the stretch. You can take one hand to each leg to help support the legs. Or the hands can thread through the legs so that you're holding onto the back of the left knee. So we can take this a little bit further, adding a bonus hamstring stretch, because who doesn't want one of those? You'll reach the left leg up toward the ceiling, reaching through the heel, drawing the top of the foot back. A moment here. Bend the left knee. Lower the sole of the left foot onto the mat. Lower the right foot down onto the mat. Make sure both feet are flat underneath the knees. The knees are pointing straight forward. Hands come beside the body. One soft bridge. So you're only lifting the hips off of the mat by a few inches, nothing too intense. Reaching the front of the knees away from you. And feeling this opening through the front of the hips and thighs. Slowly lower the hips down onto the mat, inching the body away. Take a fresh breath in here. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Right leg stays down, left ankle crosses for our figure 4. You can begin to walk the right foot closer toward the body to increase the stretch. If you want to take it further, the legs lift. Hands can hold on to each of the thighs to help support. Or hands come through the inside to hold on to the either side of the right leg. And you may be staying here. Or if you want that bonus hamstring stretch, the right leg reaches toward the ceiling, drawing the top of the foot back. Let's release through the outside of the hips, the low back. Right knee bends, bringing it back to its starting position. Lower the sole of the right foot onto the mat. Left leg uncrosses, so both feet are down on the mat. Knees and toes are going forward. Hands beside you, palms are down. And a soft bridge, keeping the feet flat. Feet and shoulders press into the mat as you lift the hips away to hover. Nothing too grand. Thinking more about opening up through the front of the body than coming into some intense back bend. Slowly lower the hips down, inching the body away. Take a fresh breath once you land. And then reach the legs long, arms reach overhead, take a full body stretch. From here, bend the knees, roll over onto one side of the body. We'll come up onto a hands and knees position here. We won't be active for too long. It'll still be a gentle stretch. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then take the knees wide, big toes come together. Sit back toward the heels for child's pose. Forehead can rest down on the mat, or you can make a fist with the hand and let the forehead rest on the fist. The front of the shins, the ankles soften. The front of the ribs soften onto the thighs. The back of the body opens and expands as you breathe in. It softens and releases as you exhale. Walk your hands over toward the left side of the mat, side body stretch. You're keeping the shoulders level, but shifting the right side of the waist, the right side of the rib cage, toward the right side of the mat. So hands are going left, torso is shifting right to get that stretch through the right side waist. Hips stay centered, still reaching back through both sides of the hips to keep the hips, the knees centered with the mat. Walk the hands back to center, and then we'll come over to the other side. So the hands come over toward the right side of the mat, shoulders stay level. As the hands rest along the right edge, the torso shifts toward the left, with the left side of the waist long. Hips and legs stay centered. Finding length through the left side, take another breath. Bring the body back to center. And come forward, hands and knees. And then one round of cat-cow. Take a breath in as you inhale. The chest, the abdomen sinks down toward the mat. You look forward. Exhale, round the back, look toward the thighs as you reach the spine up. And neutral spine, your flat back. From here we come back onto the back. Shifting over to the side. Ease yourself back. You're in your home stretch here. Hold on to the legs. Hug the knees in. Lower the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Knees are bent. Baddha Konasana, the knees come wide. Soles of the feet are together for bound ankle. Hands can rest on the front of the hips, or the arms can go out wide beside the body. If this bothers the back of the neck, or feels a little tight across the chest, you can stay here. You'll still get the benefits. Small arch to the low back and the back of the neck. Corners of the jaw, the mouth are soft. The inside of the knees lengthen away from center. One more breath here. Nice to come out of this position. Use the hands to help the legs come back toward one another. Hug the knees in. And one more time, legs reach long, arms reach overhead, taking a full body stretch. So your final Savasana, take the legs out wide so that the feet roll out to the sides. Arms come out beside you on the mat, palms turn up. Eyes move in the direction of the ceiling, and then the eyelids softly close. Our goal in this pose is to do nothing. To let go of the effort and the work in the body. To allow gravity to support us. Allow the air to move in and out as it needs. Slowly begin to bring your attention back into the room and bringing small motion to the fingers, small motion to the toes, feet, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. Bend the knees so the soles of the feet come flat onto the mat. Roll over onto the right side of the body. Right shoulder and hip rest. And the hands press you upright to your seated position. Palms come to touch in front of you. Eyes stay softly closed. Observing the good changes that you've created. Take a full breath in here. Feel the chest expand and lift. As you exhale, the chin comes in toward the chest, the shoulders release. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your yoga practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, allowing me to come into your home and share this practice with you. If you'd like to see more of our videos, whether it's yoga or HIIT or any type of exercise class, we have more of those available for you on the Genesis Go YouTube channel or the Genesis Facebook page. We have more videos being uploaded each week, so we'll have plenty to take care of your needs during this time. So I appreciate you being here. Take care.